Hi all, welcome to the Marquee Matchups for the 25th of August. Now for this week it looks a little bit trickier in all honesty. There is a lot of games across the bigger leagues playing, but in all honesty it's kind of hard to say where they could go, so I've went with 6 options that I fancy. There may be more that I may put up later in the week, so keep your eyes peeled, smash links as always, sub to the channel if you're new, follow me on Twitter at GZLegend, all links are down below for playlist and channel, and we will jump into the options. So our first route is from Sweden, guys. This is like it's deemed one of the biggest games in the league between Gothenburg and Malmo. For me personally, I could see this route happening. Your Gothenburg player, for those curious, is the left back, and the right centre back is the Malmo player. I've just felt preferably that if they were to do an overall requirement, it will probably be about a 70 rated squad. You probably need at least one player from both teams to work out to like a minimum of 2. Then it's just a balance of nations, rare players, and then just ensuring that you obviously tick that 70 rated requirement. Obviously, they just seem to be making the marquee matchup just kind of very specific, so be prepared in terms of how they put them together. Roma versus Inter, obviously Inter's featuring in the one this week with Fiorentina, but Roma versus Inter is the biggest game for what I gather, looking at the fixtures for next week in Italy. In theory I could obviously just do like the biggest game, like 2 biggest games in every league, but then you'd have like 20 routes and then it would be a bit pointless. But for this, Roma and Inter, one player each I would imagine, then like a 79 overall rating, even though they're doing an exactly gold player requirement, which kind of puts every player with a use and a value. Then it's just a case of having a balance of rare players, nations, and then just ensuring that you tick all the boxes from there. That's that 90 chem. And 6 out of 10 could happen, but it might look at other games within the league. That's my feeling. EPL, the Liverpool game seems the most logical because it's like one of the biggest derbies in the league. It's kind of like it's not a proper rivalry, like, but it's like, because they're not both Liverpool teams, it's like Liverpool versus say London, if you want to put it that way. But both big teams, and in terms of what could happen, I would say this is a very strong shout for the week. As I say, 2 from both teams, 80 overall rating. If they go on a ratings requirement, then it's a balance of getting your nations and rares. 11 from the Premier League always seems to be a safe bet, just to kind of build this, but obviously they're doing exactly rare gold, so be prepared on that basis as well. Just of an 11 exactly gold. Then with Real Madrid versus Valencia, that is a big option in the BBVA. Back in the day, these teams used to fight tooth and nail for the title. Not so much now. Valencia seem to be in a little bit of a lull period, but still has a good bearing in the league in terms of importance. 2 players from both teams. If they do a rating requirement, probably a 79, 80 rating, then it's just a case of getting your nations and rares if they've covered that option. Same for the league, and then just a case of getting your chemistry at least over 90. Obviously I know I always do 100 because it just feels a good safety net to kind of cover your back. 6 out of 10 no for likelihood. It is a genuine hard week in terms of where to kind of see yourself, in terms of also how to prepare. Then we go over to Portugal with Braga versus Porto, and this is one of the bigger games in the league. It's kind of been the first standout game for what I've gathered looking at the league, and who knows when another one might pop up, but obviously for a change of league as well, it just seemed quite logical. For me, I would say both teams, all told, should kind of be straightforward. It's just a case of one from either Braga and Porto to give you your 2 overall rating. If they do that, 77. But as I said, rare gold pack is what you're getting as a reward. We're noticing for every SBC, so that's for every route of the marquee matchup. And it's just a case of covering your nations and rares, chemistry, and getting 11 players in. Then with the MLS as the last option this week, we've had the New York FC and New York Red Bulls kind of, I'm sure we had it a few weeks back, and we're getting the same scenario again where they're playing in kind of like a return game so soon. Could we get, it's kind of hard to say. I've gave it a 6 out of 10. I've slightly tweaked the requirements from last time. I had it as a 75. I've went to a 70 this time just to make it not be too expensive, but it's still going to be expensive enough. It'll probably be like an 8 to 10k. But in my personal opinion, I think they might, if they do an MLS game, they'll probably pick another one over this. But this is still New York City is kind of a big deal in a sense. But as I said, you could look at Argentina because that league starts back up. You could potentially look at Switzerland, you could look in France as options as well. But as I said, it's a very difficult field this week to prepare, but hopefully you find this useful still. As always, smash the like, sub to the channel if you're new, follow me Twitter, G's Legend, and if I get extra routes I'll put them up, and I'll catch you later.